What's going on, guys? Now, we just got back from Daytona Bike Week and doing a nice little review of kind of like what we did day to day and little surprises like this that a friend of mine got me for my birthday while we were down there. And hopefully, you guys will stick around to hear all about it. So, day one was a pretty uneventful day. Me and Bob from Bob's Garage, we rode down. It was a nice day. We got up nice and early and got an early start to it, so it was nice. We did stop in Savannah, Georgia at the dealership there, and we met Wood Jr., which was kind of cool. He's a pretty exciting guy, pretty entertaining to watch. Um, and then we continued down. We got down to St. Augustine. I think we got down there 2 in the afternoon, so it was really nice and early. And we hung out at the dealership of AdMac, which is the main dealership in St. Augustine. There are two locations, but the main one, pretty nice dealership. And then we also came across, surprise to us, the Dixon guys, and they had set up a tent over there, and they were selling stuff. And I really enjoy their products, so of course I bought me and the wife some stuff. And then we waited for everybody else to show up. My wife, Bob's wife, our friend Brian, we all got together and we met, and we were staying in St. Augustine at the house. We got together. We went out into St. Augustine Old Town, which is a really cool place to visit if you're in that area. Old Spanish town, really cool environment to be in, shopping centers, and that's where we had dinner. And then we kind of just hung out at the house that night. So overall, uneventful, but very nice to hang out with friends. And then day two, we went ahead and went over to the racetrack, which was really cool to see that environment and see all the vendors, the manufacturers, especially to go and see the Harley Davidson facility that they had set up. Seeing that CVO ST in person with all the light, with the sunlight on it, it was pretty cool details. Not quite growing on me yet, but I guess it will at some point. Got some cool pictures in front of the Harley Davidson sign, hung out, saw a bunch of different vendors there. A lot of the main vendors that we wanted to see weren't there, but they're over at the Destination Daytona. Um, we hung out down there and went to Main Street. And for all of you guys that are super big into that crowd and environment, it's a really cool people watching scene. However, for me, way too many people. But I don't like that many people, so it's kind of loud to me. Um, but also one of those things that people go to Bike Week to be a part of. So it was a really cool event to go to. And then we actually had family movie night back at the house, and we watched Top Gun Maverick, which nerdy us, like really cool movie. I enjoyed it. Uh, and that was day two. Now, day three, we did something out of the norm for people that are going to Bike Week, or at least what I've always heard was out of the norm. We didn't do bike stuff the first half of the day. We went to the alligator farm. Now, my wife's big into the being at the alligator farm. We can't go past this area without going there, and I enjoy it too, just not quite as much as she does. Uh, we decided to go ahead and have lunch downtown in Old Town St. Augustine. Once our other buddy Josh showed up, he was feeling a little ill, so he came up a little late. And we had lunch in St. Augustine, which was, again, a really cool shopping area and drinks and everything in that area. And then we headed down to Destination Daytona to kind of walk around. We got there a little late and didn't quite get there in time to see the vendors that day. But again, still just a cool environment. Got to go see Destination Daytona. We walked through the entire dealership and spent some time in there. Went through JMP cycles and kind of just walked around a little bit. And we headed over to the racetrack area and we had dinner. Really cool grown-up area with restaurants and things to do over there, and kind of like not super busy. So that's kind of more my speed. It was a really fun time that day. And then, so day four, we ended up going back down to the racetrack, Destination Daytona, because Josh didn't have an opportunity to go through that stuff. And it's kind of what we're there for. So like we wanted to see all the vendors at Destination Daytona. And a few in particular were really cool. Saddlemen. I ride a Saddlemen road sofa with the wife. I enjoy them. And to find out they're coming out with a different type of foam that's not quite as rigid for around their gel pack was kind of cool. Kind of cool to hear them actually say it themselves. We went over and we saw Hoffman Designs. Hoffman Designs does carbon fiber and some upgrades on their bikes, and they do a lot of selling of them. And really cool designs in the fiber, like the carbon fiber that I didn't know you could do with color schemes and different patterns, which was really awesome. And then one of the ones that I really enjoyed seeing was Figurati Designs. He does a little bit of the jewelry that goes on our bikes. Now that jewelry is like on this one is a timing cover. He does your nut covers. He also does your swing arm covers, all those little designs. A bunch of YouTubers have done it on their stuff, on his stuff. But I was really impressed because it's jewelry grade moldings. There's no real weldings. There's no billet scrapings. There's no cuttings. It's really cool. The color is very vivid. I was kind of excited to see it and meet the guy that does it. And just so lucky that I have good friends. They bought me one for a gift for my birthday because that's what we went down there for, was a birthday celebration. We went back and ended up going back to the racetrack area for dinner that night. And surprise, surprise, we actually found an arcade that I think my wife got a little carried away with for the arcade. I think she was a little too excited about it. She came out with a big giant ball that we'll show you some pictures when she edits it. And her and her sister found some ducks. You Jeep people out there, they got a little carried away with the ducks too, but we had fun. And then the two friends that I have that ride didn't bring their bikes. They got a chance to actually ride Harleys, and it was pretty entertaining. And then we headed home. We had a pretty good time. We didn't focus solely on being a part of that biker environment or doing that typical bike week stuff, but we had a ton of fun. It's an opportunity to see a whole new area and kind of celebrate those areas and be a part of that, seeing everything realistically. Now, the 5th day was our trip home. Luckily, we left at a time we stayed mostly dry. Now, I did hit a bucket at about 80 miles an hour, which not the smartest thing to do, but I'm not that smart, so didn't damage the bike, no issues. Everybody else was safe. We had no incidents with that, and we only got rained on for about the last hour, which sucks, but could have been worse. There were a few other things that I purchased down there that I'll probably do another video on, but overall, we had a really good time, and all the bad stories you always hear about Daytona and bike weeks, we didn't come across any of that. So hopefully you guys will have another experience like that when you guys go to these events, and hopefully next year you guys will be in Daytona while we're down there and we can all meet up and have a good time. Pause, comma, dramatic effect, action.